I have with me some of the victims who've been residing here. Let's hear from their own selves as to what they think of the speech. आपका नाम बताइए और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो एक कहा है आज, उसमें आपको क्या लगा उसके बारे में?
मेरा नाम सुखविंदर सिंह है। मेरा केस 84 का केस है। मेरे फादर को 84 में जो है घर से बाहर निकाल के मार दिया था। 84 की बात है ये। तो मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ मोदी साहब को कि मोदी साहब की मैंने स्पीच देखी है, कहीं भी उन्होंने 84 के बारे में कोई भी बात नहीं की है। तो मैं चाहता हूँ क्योंकि मोदी साहब कर सकते हैं, उनका पूरा बहुमत है, उनके पास पावर है, तो वो चाहें तो हमें न्याय दिला सकते हैं। क्योंकि अभी तक 84 को जितनी भी हत्याएं की गई हैं दिल्ली में, किसी को भी फांसी, किसी को न्याय, किसी को नहीं दिया है। हम मोदी साहब से मैं अपील करना चाहता हूं कि मैसेज उनको दिया जाए, इसके बारे जो भी है आगे एक्शन लिया जाए।
आप बताइए आपको क्या लगा? शी इज अ विडो who lives in this colony from the 84 year onwards. आप बताइए।
मेरा नाम भागी कौर है। मेरे घर के 10 जने गए हैं इस दंगे में। तो मैं मोदी साहब को यही कहती हूँ कि आपने जो ये बात उठा रहे हो, इतना मुद्दा उठा रहे हो, तो ये 84 का मुद्दा क्यों नहीं उठाया आपने? और ये कह रहे 58 साल भाई हम नौकरी के लिए 58 साल करेंगे, तो ये गरीब आदमी कहाँ जाएंगे? हमारे जैसे तो हम तो भूखे मर जाएंगे। हमारे बच्चों के कोई रोजगार थोड़ी है। गुरुद्वारे में सेवादारी में जाते हैं तो 8,000 मिलते हैं, उसमें क्या बच्चे थोड़ी पलेंगे हमारे? तो
You know, Preeti, I was here a couple of weeks back when the Home Minister Rajnath Singh was distributing his checks, and I have with me one family member who had received the same. What did you find peculiar about Mr. Modi's speech today?
See, I'm Manpreet Singh. I'm a victim of 84 riots. I was 11 years old. I lost my father in those riots.
Okay.
So I think there's a very big gap of communication between the government only. Because I think Home Minister is one of the very big man in this government. And he says something, and what Mr. Prime Minister says, I think the government is not in sync right now in itself.
Okay.
Because what Mr. Rajnath Singh had said out here was, okay, yes, we will be doing, see, we are not here for compensations. Please try and understand, it has 30 years been here. At least he should have said something about SIT, something about justice for us.
Okay.
It is a very big issue.
So you tell me, did you find Mr. Modi's speech disappointing, as a lot of these people are suggesting?
It is quite disappointing because he has not referred to the justice to be given to these victims. They have not been heard even. Only given compensation does not mean that the culprits will go scot-free.
Okay, not even a mention. Not even a mention, sir. Not even a mention. Is that hurting you?
Yeah, we were expecting that the Prime Minister would definitely at least give some projections, some planning, some commitment to the Sikhs for the 84 riots victims, but unfortunately it has been not mentioned anywhere.
Okay. Preeti, it was a community which was, perhaps one can say, watching the Prime Minister most intensely and closely, but disappointment is all that I'm picking up from people in the Tilak Vihar area. Preeti, back to you.
You know, we're going to keep coming back to you, Jugal. So there have been clearly some hits and some misses where Prime Minister's speech is concerned. The hits where he's talked about electricity, he's talked about providing housing to the slum dwellers by the year 22, he's talked about bank accounts, but there have been certain misses as well in the form of absolutely no talk about women's security where the national capital is concerned, and most importantly on the issue of full statehood for Delhi. Many were expecting him to maybe talk about that, but politically it might not have made sense right now because the Delhi BJP unit has gone and said that vote us in and then we will get statehood for Delhi. So I want to now bring in to this conversation Paranjoy Thakurta, political analyst who's with us. Going through the entire speech, Mr. Thakurta, as we pointed out, there have been certain hits and misses. And even talking about the Aam Aadmi Party and his veiled attack at Arvind Kejriwal, it wasn't veiled because it was direct, it was veiled because he didn't name him. So there are two ways of looking at this, isn't it?
No, the way I see it is, why did he not name the Aam Aadmi Party or Arvind Kejriwal? I mean, if Amit Shah can name him, if the other BJP leaders can, why didn't he? So that's the first point. Is it that it is kind of a tactic on his part, a tactical strategy that he doesn't want to give the Aam Aadmi Party the kind of importance? If you ask my personal opinion, I do believe that the Aam Aadmi Party is the principal political opponent of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the Delhi election. He mentioned Congress. He mentioned Congress more than once, but he didn't mention the Aam Aadmi Party. That's one. Secondly, this thing about Arajakya, anarchist, does it really go down well? I don't know.
Right.
See, what was important to me was that at one level his body language was that of the Modi in the run-up to the 2014 elections. But what his words said were far more muted. As you said rightly, no mention of statehood, no mention of women. That was a little surprising. I would have expected him to mention something about law and order conditions for women. No mention of regularization of unauthorized colony. Yes, he said yes, you'll get a regular
but
supply of electricity.
No absolute mention of these
issues. So I'm a little surprised why he didn't mention them directly.
Then name the Aam Aadmi Party.
Absolutely.
Why didn't he launch a direct attack on Arvind Kejriwal? I want to bring in Aditi at this point of time. Aditi, Narendra Modi is a very popular leader. Nobody is denying that. When it comes to Delhi, one could give the benefit of doubt to Arvind Kejriwal as well, that he still has certain people who are completely dyed in wool where his loyalty is concerned to Arvind Kejriwal. So at when you attack the Aam Aadmi Party, call them liars, call them agitators, not administrators, that goes. But when you directly attack somebody like Arvind Kejriwal, call him an anarchist, do you think it will go down well with Delhi, especially with that set, which is, like we pointed out, completely dyed in wool when it comes to the loyalty to Kejriwal?
I don't think using the word anarchist for somebody, or that's not really that important. I think the more important thing is that he went on referring to the poor. There was an inordinate number of references to those who are poor, those who were not allowed to get into banks, those for whom Jan Dhan is a big boon, those who don't have electricity. He offered 24 hours a day electricity, he offered 2 bulbs, he offered houses, okay, 2022, but still.
Right.
So my feeling is that part of the Aam Aadmi Party's
he's
support
attacking
group,
the
precisely.
He's attacking the voter base of the Aam Aadmi Party.
I wouldn't say attacking, he's addressing the voter base of the Aam Aadmi Party and telling them, look, I can do much more for you than anybody else. And so you should not lose faith in me. I'm there and I will take care of you. Similarly, the question of reduction of retirement age, he knows, and this is generally accepted, that the middle classes have lost a little bit of faith in the Aam Aadmi Party, that they've moved away from it. And this question of retirement age was also addressed precisely.
All right, I want to go across to Kamaljeet there, because Kamal, there is a certain amount of gravitas in what Aditi is saying, because everything that Narendra Modi spoke about today completely goes on to address the vote bank of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, be it when he talked about electricity, be it the slum dwellers. He even went ahead and addressed the auto rickshaw drivers, which at one point of time voted en masse for the Aam Aadmi Party. What kind of reactions did you actually pick up when people were filing out of this rally?
Well, definitely, Narendra Modi's speech has sparked a fresh controversy, a war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. But obviously, it's the Delhiites who would be putting in their votes. Many of the BJP supporters were chanting Modi's name. But remember, this was Modi's rally. But there was a sense of deja vu for a lot of people who stay around the areas. And they obviously seem to be enamored at that point of time with Narendra Modi. But the real test will be on the ground. But remember, Narendra Modi's speech obviously included a whole lot of other facets, which included the water issues, the electricity, 24 electricity being promised, houses for slum dwellers, obviously also removing corruption. So some of these agendas were picked up by Arvind Kejriwal at one point of time, have been hijacked by the BJP. It's left to the Delhiites to really decide whom they would want to really go with. Arvind Kejriwal had that 49 days at hand, but obviously it was a spent opportunity. Will they be and we know that Arvind Kejriwal will be addressing a press conference shortly to take on all those questions. But yes, this is going to be becoming toughening as far as both the stances are concerned with BJP and the Congress, as well as the Aam Aadmi Party. But a lot of people having mixed views about Narendra Modi. But yes, a deep vote division will take place as far as the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP are concerned.
All right, Kamal, do stay with me. I want to get in Paranjoy. Paranjoy, a lot of issues that Narendra Modi touched on. Primarily, let's talk about electricity, something that, the Aam Aadmi Party built their spurs on, earned their spurs during the elections last time.
In fact, what the Aam Aadmi Party specifically said, will reduce your electricity bill.
Yes.
That kind of assurance.
And what he says is even better. He says, I'll provide you 24 hours electricity.
That's right, which is not the same thing as giving you
a
lower bill. The point that Aditi made is very important. It's a populist speech. He is clearly aiming at the poor. He wants to say that, look,
and, selling multiplayer privatization in electricity under the populist tag.
Now, the point is whether that will work or not is as a separate issue. I'll give you one instance, for instance. You know, he has given a lot of importance to the Jan Dhan Yojana, to the whole issue of fiscal inclusion, and he's tried to address it, but what he's not said is also very important. Yes, they've opened those bank accounts, but is there money in those bank accounts? You know, if you go by the Finance Ministry's own statistics, all the bank accounts that have been opened, about 75% of them don't have any balance at this particular point of time. So he said, yes, 8,500 crores has come into the account, but it's come into 25% of the accounts and not 75%. So, you know, at one level, he is also plugging his pet themes, the themes that he's been propagating at the union level, and whether that will have the kind of traction among the poor of Delhi, we'll have to wait and watch.
Well, the fact is that the poll bugle has been sounded. Nobody can deny that, and things will only hot up in days to come. We'll continue tracking details, expecting an Aam Aadmi Party press conference anytime now.